From the chaos of a red card storm and a win at Old Trafford to the looming test of Brentford's fortress, Manchester United's season is already swinging between relief and reckoning. And welcome to Devil's Roundup. We're Abbie and Luke based in Australia, and we're incredibly excited to have you with us.
Definitely feels like a bit of a roller coaster already, doesn't it? We've got quite a bit to unpack this week.
We certainly do. We're going to dive straight into that dramatic win against Chelsea. Crucial 3 points, but maybe not the most convincing performance overall.
Yeah, 2-1 in the end. Felt more like survival than dominance, honestly. And then, of course, we need to look ahead to Saturday, 27th September. Brentford away. That's never straightforward.
Never is. And look, if you're just joining us for the first time, hitting subscribe means you won't miss any of our United analyses each week. Okay, so Chelsea at Old Trafford. Let's set the scene a bit. Right. High stakes. We absolutely needed that win, especially after the less said about the City game, the better, maybe. Pressure was building on Amorim and the team.
We needed to be sharp.
But instead, we got chaos, which, luckily, started in our favor pretty much straight away.
5th minute. Boom. Chelsea's keeper, Sanchez, straight red, took out Brian and Mbeumo just outside the area.
Total game changer. Suddenly, we're playing against 10 men. Chelsea have to reorganize everything.
And credit where it's due, we took advantage pretty quickly. Didn't mess about.
Nope. 14th minute, Bruno Fernandes pops up. That was his 100th goal for the club, wasn't it?
It was indeed. Good work from Patrick Dorgu with the knockdown. Bruno tucked it away. Perfect start, really.
And we kept that control going for, well, most of the first half. Casemiro adding the second, around the 37th minute. Header, close range.
Yeah, nailed on. At 2-0 up against 10 men, you're thinking, okay, job done. Cruise control.
Exactly. Should have been comfortable heading into the break.
And then the self-inflicted part. Casemiro, second yellow. Just before halftime.
Oh, honestly, it just felt so unnecessary.
Completely changed the game again. 10 versus 10. Suddenly, Chelsea are right back in it, mentally at least.
The manager even said we almost complicated our lives. And he wasn't wrong, was he?
Not at all. We went from cruising to, like you said, basically being in a real scrap, all down to that lack of discipline.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Were we actually comfortable 10v10, or did that first red just paper over some cracks?
It definitely wasn't comfortable after that. Chelsea pushed, and they got their goal.
80th minute, Chalobah from a corner. Cue the nervy finish.
Oh, yeah. Proper squeaky bum time for those last 10 minutes plus stoppage. The final whistle was just relief, pure relief.
Not the 3 points, which is the main thing, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely highlighted some issues.
Okay, so let's dig into the tactics a bit from that game. Despite the chaos, the win does kind of show that Amorim's 3-4-3 can work, right? Especially against a team forced to sit a bit deeper like Chelsea were after the red.
Yeah, when it clicks, it creates chances. And a lot of that seemed down to the wingbacks, didn't it?
Absolutely. Mazraoui and Dorgu were called difference makers in some of the analysis we looked at. They were constantly getting forward.
Mazraoui, was it 12 passes into the final third? That's impressive output from wingback.
It really is. And Dorgu got the assist for Bruno's opener. That width and drive from them is just vital for how Amorim wants to play.
And we should probably mention De Ligt, too. Had a really solid game at the back.
Yeah, rated 8 out of 10 pretty much everywhere. Aggressive, stepping out, but also had that recovery pace. Remember that clearance from the Reece James cross?
Oh, yeah, vital interception. That's exactly the kind of defending you need in that system. Proactive.
And there's always a but, it seems. We can't ignore the flaws that almost cost us.
Number one has to be the finishing. It's becoming a bit of a theme.
It is. The expected goals, the XG, tells a story. We're leading the league, apparently, 9.98%, which sounds great.
Yeah, for anyone listening, that basically means we're creating really good quality chances, positions you'd expect professionals to score from.
But we're just not converting them often enough. Our conversion rate is low. We make life hard for ourselves.
Admitted it himself, didn't he? Said we need to be more clinical, finish games off earlier.
Exactly. If we'd put away maybe 1 or 2 more against 10 men, Casemiro's red card becomes, well, maybe not irrelevant, but certainly less damaging.
Then there's the second flaw. That old chestnut. Defending set pieces.
Yep. Looked like Euro and Amad Diallo just switched off for a second.
It keeps happening. It's a collective thing, not just individuals, but it's costing us goals consistently. Has to be sorted.
And tied into all that is the discipline point again. Casemiro's red. It just put us under needless pressure. That mental side, staying composed, it feels like a recurring issue.
It does. And you can bet Thomas Frank will be looking at those vulnerability set pieces. There'll be a bit of fragility under pressure ahead of Saturday.
Definitely. Brentford away. We're 11th, they're 17th. But Honestly, throw the form book out the window for this one.
It's always seemed a bit chaotic between us and Brentford since they came up in 2022. That 4-0 still gives me nightmares.
Don't remind me. And even last season, that crazy 4-3 loss back in May. Although, wasn't that the game we played a really young team?
Yeah, youngest ever Premier League starting 11, I think. Saving players for Europe. But still, it shows things can get wild there.
And crucially, our away form this season, well, it hasn't been great, has it?
Not great is putting it mildly. Still looking for that first league win on the road. We got the draw at Fulham, got hammered by City. It's a worry.
Especially because Brentford are the opposite. They struggle away, lost all three, I think, but at home.
They're different beasts.
Yeah.
They beat Villa 1-0 there, drew 2-2 with Chelsea. They make it tough for everyone at their place.
That home advantage is massive for them. It's a proper fortress feel sometimes. We need to be ready for a battle.
By the way, if you're enjoying this discussion, sharing with fellow Red Devils is a great way to keep the conversation going.
Good point. So, tactically, what are we expecting? It's a real clash of styles, isn't it?
It feels like it. You've got Amorim, almost religiously sticking to it.
Yeah, an unwavering allegiance was how one piece put it. He's trying to make the players fit the system, sometimes maybe when they don't quite naturally fit.
Which leads to problems. Look at Bruno Fernandes. He's playing deeper in that midfield too.
Yeah, the double pivot. It just feels like it dampens his best qualities, you know? He wants to make those killer passes, take risks. It often just leads to turnovers.
And it stifles his goal threat too. Only 2 goals so far this season. It feels like you're asking him to do a job that isn't really his strength.
Exactly. And it's not just Bruno. Think about Amad Diallo being used as a wingback.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to him for putting a shift in defensively, but he's an attacker.
Yeah.
You want him causing problems in the final third, cutting inside, not tracking runners all game.
It's that paradox again, isn't it? We create loads of chances on paper, but maybe because key players aren't in their optimal roles, the finishing isn't there.
And then you compare that to Thomas Frank at Brentford.
Total contrast. He's much more pragmatic, adaptable. He'll change things up to target weaknesses, likes that direct physical style. Vertical passes, get it up to the forwards quickly.
Which brings us to the massive hole in our midfield for Saturday. Casemiro suspended.
Yep. That red card against Chelsea means he's out. Huge blow, especially for an away game like this where you need that steel in the middle.
So the big question is who partners Bruno? The feeling seems to be Manu.
Looks like Abbie and Luke might get his first Premier League start of the season. Big moment for him if it happens.
Huge. Thrown in at the deep end, really. That midfield battle against Brentford's physicality is going to be absolutely key. It's a massive test for the lad.
It really is. And speaking of players, a couple of interesting subplots. Brian Mbeumo going back to his old club.
Yeah, the prodigal son returns. Be interesting to see his reception. He hasn't quite hit the ground running for us, has he? Only 2 goals.
That system fit thing we talked about. He thrived at Brentford, but it's been tougher for him in our setup.
But the main threat from them, surely, is Kevin Shade.
Oh, absolutely. He seems tailor-made for how Frank wants to play. Fast, direct, good finisher. Scored twice against us back in May, remember?
I do. He's exactly the kind of player who could cause our backline problems, especially, dare I say it, from set pieces or quick transitions.
We have to be switched on, Tim. Okay, so wrapping things up, prediction time. Or maybe just a summary of the challenge.
Well, putting it all together, this feels like a massive test for us. The tactical questions around the 3-4-3 haven't gone away. Casemiro's missing, which is a huge loss defensively. And we're going to a ground where Brentford are really, really strong.
And where we historically tend to have pretty chaotic games, high scoring maybe, unpredictable feels like the safe bet.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect a comfortable, controlled win, let's put it that way. That first away victory is proving elusive, and this is one of the toughest places to go and get it.
So here's something maybe for you listening to think about this week. Can Amorim stick rigidly to this 3-4-3 and get that vital away win when players like Bruno and Amad are maybe playing slightly out of position, hindering their attacking instincts? And crucially, can they do it without Casemiro shielding the defense?
Is that structure more important than getting the best out of the individual talents we have? It's a tough balancing act.
It certainly is.
Hope you enjoyed our breakdown. Don't forget to subscribe for next week's review and preview airing next Friday, and sharing this episode with friends helps us keep the podcast alive. Thanks for listening.